So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things we've been talking about. Refik, how many times have you attended Leadership Guild so far?
I think I only missed one time, so
Okay.
when I was at hospital with my cousin,
Right.
and at two times. I think it's when the bad connection when
Uh-huh.
you are with the candidate at Jogja. You remember?
Oh, right. There was kind of a gangguan there. Babe, you want to join us?
Yeah.
Leadership Guild. And also, let's get Bayu here if possible. Bayu. Okay. Bayu is engaged. Just for fun, I wanted to show you something, Rafik. This is part of
What
our.
is that?
I'm going to show you my secret. No, I'm going to show you some old photos that we had of the
Your
company.
your balls something?
No, not showing balls. Rafik, this is a recorded session, so everything you say
No,
will
no,
be
the
broadcast
balls,
to the
the
rest of the world.
soccer ball.
Of course. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's what you meant. All right, so let me show you some of these. Let me see if I have them. Um, we were we were going through and we were taking a look at some of the old photos from Bukit Vista back in the old days, and we were
Hmm.
able to find tons of. Remember, we were trying to figure out um, where we were staying
Yeah.
for the first Halloween, and you were
Yes.
right. It was actually at Nilo Gelantic in Seminyak.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that one on the Bukit Vista yet, right?
No, you haven't. So this is. It took us a while, but we found it. Apparently, we went to Ultimo for dinner, and then we went. No, we went to Ultimo for. No, we went to Rumors for drinks, and then we went to Sisterfields afterwards. So we did two different places. And oh, hey, okay, welcome back. So all you have to do actually to find out what happened in the past, Rafik, is just go to the Bukit Vista account, and there's a gigantic Google Photo Index here, and you can just
Yeah.
go to whichever year that happened in. So that happened, I think, in 2006. What are you doing?
Drinking coffee.
Oh, you're drinking
Mango.
coffee. Okay. And I was able to find it. I was able to find some really old stuff. You're gonna crack up, Rafik, when you see this. You're gonna be like, "What? That was us?" Here. Wait a second. Wait for it. Wait for it. That's when we first acquired Labak too, as well. 2016.
October 16. I'm not doing yet, sir.
Oh my God,
Baru kedua deh.
that's crazy. Yeah,
That's Samba Lama.
yeah. Okay, this is it then. So this. Okay, so what?
This
What?
is second. This is
This
Uh,
you didn't do this one.
the connection is not good, sir.
No. Uh oh, bad connection again.
No, I'm not doing.
Okay. Because it's kind of funny. We still had chicken pot pie and lasagna back then. Even it's the same foods as now. That's kind of a coincidence. Okay. Will meetings mistruck
Try to
machine?
reload it.
Let me just switch over to a different machine.
What?
I have a like a hard line right now. It's a direct
Okay,
connection
okay.
to the router.
Okay.
I think I have a direct connection to the router. Wait, give me a second. Yep, I got this cable that is essentially inside the computer going right to the router. Okay. Hey, welcome in, buddy. Thank you. All right, so let's take a look. Rafik's over at Pondok Kita. His internet is a little bit unstable. Okay. Is that real money? Okay. Okay. All right. So let's see. This was already discussion about. Oh, hey, welcome back, Rafik. This was discussion about delegation, so we can pass that. And let's see. What can we do about this? This has already been spoken about, right? We've already talked about managers letting go of control, delegation. So recovery. Okay, so on this one, let's go ahead and propose that as a good your best practice. If there's anything you'd like to have engaged on the leadership meeting, then please propose it 30 minutes beforehand. As the chair will put it on 30 minutes beforehand and remind everybody of the meeting. And if there's something that needs to be discussed, it should go on. Okay, sounds good. Let's see, Mr. Secretary, can you put that on? That essentially it's
I'm still opening the document.
okay. All right. When the subject matter is important, consider the meeting before the meeting. Talk to the key influencers, and take on how they feel about the subject. I notice Nung Lee does this actually quite a lot. She'll go around and she'll like essentially have that pre-meeting before the meeting starts. Leadership Guild.
Yeah.
Leadership Guild is up over at the top, and search for Leadership Guild. The idea of killing two meetings and making it into one. Currently, we're actually having meeting bloat in squad 1, 2. It's like 3, 4. It's getting ridiculous, yeah. So, okay. I'll leave that there until the secretary is up to speed, and then we will continue on with the rest of our meeting. But we do want to create a format for the meeting so that it's the most beneficial. All right. Next part is on Tendi. How to make the new person contribute more to the squad, delegate more work to the new person, hand out for seniors, make sure we hire people who are high bias to action. So this one we've talked about quite a while, but I guess let's open up the floor. Are we delegating better today than, let's say, a month ago?
But the delegation last month, I do it air support and hosting by myself at Canggu.
Right.
But now I delegate to Windy and Eva, and any kind of problem, they responsibility by that. And so far it's so good. That is my delegation to them.
Okay. All right.
So they always report to me if any problem. So that's why we need very same like in the squad 2 meeting. We really need urgent air support and host at Canggu squad 2B. So.
Okay. Sounds good. Bayu, what do you feel about that?
Basically, Rafik has practiced pretty good delegation by being available, but not doing it.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the problem is we will lose that delegate soon, so that's why we are chasing HR to fill up the position.
Okay, and over to Rafik. Currently, I believe we have Ruth, who is coming on. Is Ruth on squad? She's on squad 4.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But we are requesting
But
her to
we are need people.
Okay,
Basically, it's for us. It's priority list, right? So Ruth will be a backup for squad 4, but for squad 2, it's Ruth will be the main person because we don't have any air support.
Because we asked that because squad 3 and 4, right? Jogja and helping Cynthia. It's not just 4 only.
the 3 is very light actually, and 2 is very heavy.
Okay.
So there's no air support basically.
At the moment, and then if we go back to that, then Rafik gets wrapped up again. Okay, but I do understand there is some context related to this because Cynthia was waiting for somebody to come in, and it's always been sort of poached by
Yeah,
squad
it
2.
was this that
Yeah.
always was squad 2
Yeah.
and then this one.
But when do Eva and Wendy go back to school?
December.
December.
Yeah, back to school on 5th of December, sir.
5th of December, so early December.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me ask her because she's going around with Eva to meet the guests.
Okay.
Maybe I will touch her later.
Okay. It might be a little bit difficult, but if she can remain as air support, that would be kind of nice. Yeah.
Actually, I was asking this stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's still school at the same time. Okay. All right. So we need another air support person, and squad 4. How is essentially the workload right now?
So, is Cynthia by herself?
Sorry. Wait. Let me refocus. This is not a discussion here. This is a discussion for later. But okay. This is more about delegation than handling operational issues. So I'm going to stop that topic. Okay. How do you feel about your delegation skills so far this past month?
Actually, I delegate to Cynthia most of my tasks. Actually, also I do delegation for the slowly delegate like revenue by teaching them and by give them like slowly like Cynthia 1 or 2.
Okay.
And result give the already been set up and result I give the advanced one.
Okay.
And then for the training route, because I monitor Cynthia how to.
Okay, got it.
So basically, that's my rotation. Normally, I teach Cynthia, and then I want to Cynthia available how to delegate and monitor as well. But
Okay, so
there's
your
other-
delegate is delegating now too.
Yeah, I'm just monitoring how she actually delegate because that's her weakness at the
How do
moment.
you monitor somebody else's delegation skills?
So basically, I have a paper like schedule like for route.
Uh-huh.
Like we have like the goal to for squad, for example, the
Okay.
goal for this week is knowing the basic thing like in Panida area and all property have to be already done. That's what I
Okay,
did with
done.
Cynthia.
Okay.
And then after that, how to cross it. But the next step will be and how to handle gas and
So yeah, that is. But they asking me, for example, from Pondok Luli, what should I bring? His guest with the
Graphics teaching style.
I think certain like something monotone like a review. I agree like this time have to be clear.
Mm.
The task it's like because like monotone.
Right.
Like if give after you leave it like what time wanna do it and I don't as long I wanna see review. But every time I check the review like it's just random like sometimes I leave it sometimes not. And then I said okay look why don't you just like I want you this time this morning leaving morning card thank you and then in the evening there's Ella before you walk out the door have to be finished so that's what I did because like
So you reduce the choice actually.
yeah reduce the choice
Okay.
so this time have to be done
Okay.
so
All right.
and then people know like oh before I walk out the door and then they know that it's have to finish the review
Okay.
so
Good.
if it's monotone thing I think it's
You don't
better
need
have,
understanding
yes
to do it. Yeah.
so monotone thing have to be like done certain time
Okay.
but for new thing new case I agree like hey I have this problem
PCC work.
yeah so
Process competency, unique product method. Okay. All right.
yeah,
This is a
that's
good
what I did.
discussion.
Yeah.
All right. I think I've actually got an insight out of this. I think Socratic method cannot be used at general for everything because a lot of things just should be able to be done on time, right? And we should. What would you do, right? What do you think?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. For that kind of case, for example, like Cynthia, hey, this guy wanna stay for a month. Okay,
Mhm.
what do you think you do? Oh, I think I wanna guess how much you wanna pay. Like, okay, you just basically monitor how much.
And
you
then
guys wanna
why?
Pay,
And then why do you think that? Yeah.
Why do you think is that? Like, oh, because the guests have this budget only. Okay, and then I said, what is the next? Oh, I need to tell the partner.
Right.
Oh, okay, and then oh, okay, I think that's the right step.
Right.
So we are like, if the guest okay and the owner okay, like we just
Okay.
transact.
Very good. Okay. Once again, the Socratic method is so useful because we don't know if the student is confused for a long time. And until you've investigated and asked the question, then you don't know what they're confused about. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Done. Let's go ahead, Mrs. Secretary, and remove that. I think we've talked that one to death. Nung Lee's question and us as a service, I think, has already been defined too as well. This vision of the company is actually kind of interesting. And this is why. I'll update you guys on this. So recently, we were looking at hosting conferences, and on my project update. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll present this next week to the company on a day where we have high attendance. Tuesday early week is better, and we'll see what people think of this idea. I think this is a very advanced idea of service-oriented architecture. Not a lot of companies are thinking this way yet. And this will distinguish at least our structure for how to deliver this service. Okay, all right, cool.
So I just leave it there.
Just leave it there. I'll move it out then.
And
Next-
then I have a look at
Yeah, tag my name on it. Okay, next one. Diva asked about Alvin. Diva and Alvin are both at the Squad 1 sync up right now. So gathering buy-in and chapter and company level buy-in, more practical how we implement. Okay, we'll skip those because these delegates are not there. Within 6 months, BV suffered 8 resigned employees. BV high turnover caused by what? Okay, good question. All right, so Risky brought this up as a point of discussion. What can we say about turnover? Over to Rafik. What do we think are the main causes of turnover?
Mostly, I think it's 90% is because from personal, sir.
Okay, personal.
From
meaning-
personal from the employees,
meaning
myself.
we shouldn't change anything. It's just other people's fault. They want turnover.
Yeah, it's depend from the person, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly it's personal,
Okay.
and we never fire people if don't make really bad wrong, right?
Right.
I think so. This is for me is about resigning or uh, applying is I think it's normal. So for me.
Okay. All right. What do you think
Yeah.
about you?
Mm, no, I think that's not a personal force, right? Because if that's the cost, basically caused by us. So they are resigning here. So if it's personal, I think Alvin is a good example for personal reason. So Alvin have a problem, basically to take care of his family, but he still love the company.
Right.
So we give him an opportunity to still keep both balance, right? So that's a personal, a real personal reason. But for a personal reason that I want to resign because I want a better job, that's actually in our fault because
Oh, babe, what do you think?
I think like I understand that like in this kind of fields like okay in the beginning might be they interested but after a while like might be not like what they expected might be like more clarity about our job
Mhm.
description and might be the training and then when before 3 months they already have to know already like what it's gonna be look like so that
Mhm.
they are not hanging oh I'm gonna hear like oh I thought that after 3 months I got gonna promoted I think each person have to be clear like oh, after 3 months if you do A B C D and then you promote it so that they know where to go I
Mhm.
think it's like uh, clarity on their career like before even they
Okay.
enter.
So more clarity on career path and what is the promotion strategy? Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to let's say any of the 5 people that we don't have anymore, right? How many of those people could we have successfully retained? And would retention mean success for us as a
Who's the
company?
reason Ivan
Ivan. Okay, let's go up the stack.
Ivan
If we kept
Chandra
Ivan here, would that still be good? If Ivan didn't resign, was Ivan's resignation bad or good for the company?
For me, I think it's good because he
Okay, it's
give
good.
up
Okay, done. All right.
give up himself.
bad
What?
because we step back in HR. We no no I mean we in his role will lose a simple role basically. So
Mm.
that's just the beginning of his career, right? So we don't know yet whether Ivan will be uh, good or not. And so far actually we award him with a good project initiative
Mhm.
and everything is looking good. So probably it's actually bad for the company, but we don't know yet. We don't know why.
Okay. All right. So one vote good, one vote bad. Rafik, what do you think?
Yes, sir.
Ivan's resignation, good or bad for the company?
Uh, for my side, it's good, sir,
Okay.
because I saw his paper and then also the project is never complete, sir.
Yeah.
Because first project is not complete and then it just jump to another project and then jump to another project.
Yeah.
It's not complete first and then complete first like that.
Okay. I will also say that he was not a great fit. Mainly, a lot of Squad 1 activities could not be performed because Ivan was wholly unreliable. As a person in this company, I've been so embarrassed having Ivan here. He has ordered meetings with owners here at the base and in other places and just not shown up. Just purely not shown up. David from Villa Kyle came in here, waited an hour for him. Nili and I had to cover Ivan, and finally he was there. Ivan was given a opportunity to get back on track after he failed his promotion review, and he worked about 2 days into it before he just gave up on himself. A person like that, I think, fundamentally should actually be fired, if not anything else. It lends a very bad taste to the room. He had circumstantial success with a few isolated projects that were never fully deployed. It would be like if Bayou made bigger and the only person who used bigger was Bayou, which is exactly what happened with Ivan and Murga. He was the only person who used that. He never socialized it, he never got it out, and essentially his project was just a one time win. Ivan also had this creepy way of, I think, socializing with key people he thought would get him promoted. And when he saw that that tactic wasn't working, he gave up. And so he was essentially, I think, a person of question that he would fall into. He did not pass his promotion, right? So in this particular case, if Squad 1 had continued with Ivan, Squad 1 would still be polluted, slowed down by inconsistent underperformers. So Ivan, I'm not too regretful about. Okay, let's go to the next one. Maha. Maha, is there anything that we could have done better for Maha? Is Maha's loss a detriment or a benefit to the company? Well, let's go by you first.
For me, still bad because I don't know his performance basically, but basically we have to find another replacement.
True. Okay, let's talk about this discussion right here, right at the core. Is finding a replacement for a person that we've hired a bad thing, or is keeping a person who's mediocre or underperforming worse? Or should we be more affirmative in our decision making and fire people who are underperforming? Okay, let's go to Wan. What do you think about that?
For me, Maha is okay, because I went there a couple of times asking the owner what do you like about for him. Like he's present, if the owner likes it, but the, I think he just based on what I talked to him and talked to the owner, and then he just want to simple thing like just check it.
Right. Let's go
And
back to
then-
this.
Because like he already like almost 8 months, and didn't know how to change price. He didn't know, and then so because when I was rolling bigger, and then, I do like some questioning like face to face to the owner, like asking or calling if I can meet, because I want to see like if he actually handle being correctly. So for the check-in, I think everyone agree that he's doing a good thing, but I think that is limit. So
Okay,
that's
he was a
just-
limited player in this one. Hey, Tendi, welcome in. We're discussing about. Well, just check this out. We're discussing about resignation. Back to you, buddy. What do you think about that? Is it worthwhile retaining an underperforming, low capacity person, or is it better to dismiss them and hire somebody new, or is it better just to wait until they naturally expire?
No, I think we need to take action.
Okay.
If it's clear, then if that person is underperforming, then there's no benefit on keeping them any longer.
Yes, there is. And what could be the benefit of keeping them here? Ivan was a temp worker. If we didn't have Ivan during the peak season when we had the most check-ins, then that would mean somebody else would do that. And eventually it affects leadership, right? So sometimes we need to be able to hire temp or partial workers or
or
part-timers.
just do simple work. Yeah.
Right. To cover it so that other people may start working on other things. Because if we don't, then essentially all the more senior people will be all dragged into PCI work and they will never develop into formal leaders. So we do need to allow, I think, for budgets. This is my dilemma. So you have really three choices here. If you take a look at all the people who resigned, I'd say the one thing they have all in common is not growth mindset, with the exception of Bastion, perhaps, right? If I take a look and look back on all the history and the trajectory of people who are not here, they didn't have growth mindsets. How do I know? Look at their careers right now. Ourselves the question is, when we hire now, we hire to look at people with growth mindset. So part of that loss is going to be reduced. What you were saying just before about people coming in and they have to figure things out on their own and the career trajectory, all of us here had even less clarity, right? We had even less clarity about career trajectory, our company trajectory, our vision, or all that. We all had to grow ourselves to be able to understand that. Newer people to come in and understand and adopt and do all this stuff, right? And of course we need to because we need to get more people here. But in a way, they're less qualified now than we were to be here because they don't have that same ability to deal with uncertainty. They don't have that same ability to grow necessarily. And so that results in always like I fear sometimes we're making it too simple. If people come and they say, hey, this isn't clear for me, can you clarify this? There's two ways we can go about it. We can go, this is clear enough, and any smart person should be able to step up. Or we can go, all right, let's make this even easier and easier and easier to digest. So there is a balance between these two forces that I want to illustrate. we, of course, as leaders, I think, have the responsibility of making our messages clear and making our systems clear so that more people can adopt it. But for growth mindset, that is something I think that we just have to look for in order to be able not to have disappointing resignations. If a person doesn't have a growth mindset, then over time the company will grow far beyond that. Okay, Maha, did he have a growth mindset? Ivan, did he have a growth mindset? Maybe, but he was kind of lazy to take action on it, right? So potential, but maybe not enough will to develop that. All right, next one. Who's the last one that left before Maha?
Adele.
Adele, and Uti.
Gigi.
What?
Gigi.
Oh, Gigi.
Oh yeah, Gigi.
Yeah.
Okay, Gigi had a growth mindset. He had actually all the right factors. I was surprised. Gigi was kind of a shock.
Yeah,
Uh,
Gigi also.
Okay, so this is a good question. What could we have done better to retain Gigi? Because that's actually a pretty solid question.
Yeah. That one actually put on.
Did Gigi want to still work here, though? I mean, he's still kind of here, but what's he doing now?
He's actually having his dad business.
Okay, is that personal or is that professional? Is that something we could have changed?
Yeah,
We
but
can, right? Wait, Gigi got kind of a similar deal to Alvin. He's still being retained as a consultant, so he's still working here. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean he doesn't like work Bukit Vista.
Yeah, I have no idea like what because I work closely with him like
Mhm.
hey why did you resign? Did you find a job or like what is your vision? You know like why like you just left? Like I'm shocked. You know like I said like I just wanna hang out a bit. That's what it's I can't figure out in this case. For Emil case I figured out like because you know,
Okay,
but-
let's
but
continue.
for Gigi,
We're trying to figure out things that we can actually improve, right? Bai, do you have any ideas of what we could improve in Gigi's case?
Really,
Okay, no idea. All right, Rafik, in Gigi's case, is there anything we could have done differently to retain Gigi?
To return Gigi, did you mean?
Retain Gigi. Like, was there anything we could have done better so that Gigi wouldn't feel like he would need to resign?
Oh, it's about Gigi, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think because of us. I think it's because I was close as well with Gigi.
Mhm.
So I want to focus for his father,
Okay.
the business. And I think it's still on our consultant, right?
Yes, still here. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's different case if Gigi with Maha or somebody else.
Mm,
I think Gigi will be same like Bastian.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
Bastian left also for something that was
he's one pursue his dream, which is one go to France and
Right.
be a master of.
French. Okay,
French,
so we
right.
lost a few people because they had dreams that were outside the scope of what this work was, right?
Yeah,
And is there anything we can do about that?
cannot stop like people do
Maybe.
that
Probably not, right?
because people like have a greater thing in horizon than like they are here, you know.
Right.
So
It's not that they lost. It's not like we lost them to a different company. We lost them to a different country, right? We lost them to a whole different industry. So in this way, I think we also have to have our expectations about retention pretty clear. We have to know that what we are empowered to solve and what we are not empowered to solve. Let's go over and ask ourselves another question. What can we fix to stop future loss of great people who we should retain? Like,
Industrial fit.
yes! So that's what we screen for right now. We screen for industry fit. We make sure that the person coming in is serious about hospitality, is serious about living in Bali, because is serious about entrepreneurship and actually wants to be at Bukit Vista. Because these four things are a risk. If a person's coming from a different industry, well, sometimes
They're
even
frying.
yeah. then they and especially if they're changing industry, then they have no verticality. They're not developing, and they could switch to
But no, I
Fishing.
still have the fit, not in the industry, but on the entrepreneurship, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But
Yeah,
industry
yeah,
fit
yeah.
is an industry risk.
Yeah.
If somebody's coming from forestry and they want to join Bukit Vista, I would go, right. Another risk. If they've never lived in Bali, how will they do if they actually live here? Higher location risk. They might not want to live here. Like the cool dudes and nomi's of the world, right? Okay, and then the next one is company size risk, right? If they've never worked in startups and they've worked in big giant companies, then
And doing one thing and then stay in the box and
Yes.
doesn't have to interact.
so this is things that HR are far more sensitive about, and we train basically all the girls to screen for it. This is also why there's fewer candidate flows coming in now than before, because we are much more sensitive about bringing people in that just pose this risk. But you can see also, let's say to buy you, right? If you don't hire sufficient people at a ready clip to work on, let's say, just basic roles, then we always get stuck with this, right? We never have the programmers we need. We never have the market builders that we need. We never have whatever that we need. We're just always sort of waiting. And since we work on a funnel, any sort of top funnel inaction results in overall funnel inaction, right? So content is being given all these tasks right now to do because there's no properties coming in. And if there were properties, they would be full steam on listing properties. So once again, I think in terms of this, we just need to have more realistic balance of what we're hiring. If we hire somebody, let's be surprised that, oh wait, what happened? This didn't go the way I thought it would. Like for example, Ivan and Ryan were both hired on short-term contracts, right? Because they were both industry
Yuan.
jumping. Huh?
Yeah, and you want.
Yeah, Rian, Yuan, Rian, they were all, yeah, wow, that's funny. They all have the same name. Ivan, Yuan, Rian. Yuan was never hired. She didn't, no, wait, she was. 10, yeah. They're all this, so we just need to have better expectations of what we're hiring for.
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's the person fit.
Okay,
The company.
is this a world-class company to work at, or what are we missing here? Let's go to Tendi. Tendi, what's your thoughts on this one? Are we a world-class company to work at, or what's missing? If somebody wanted to...
From my side is I think all that we need is already here. So just uh, how can we see like from which side, like which perspective that we then like really want to join the hospitality company. uh, it will be fun for them. But if just like for them, the walking, just walking, and like money, and then just like for their life, I think they will like it's like a different perspective. The
Mm,
people like work enjoy with what they like it, and then they work just for work.
right.
So
They're
yeah,
here for
depend
a
on the
job, not
personality.
for...
For the mission.
Right, okay. Okay, all right.
There's also maybe a bias or misinterpretation when someone apply for a startup work.
Ah,
What they see is the hype of a startup work, right? So basically, they want to work in a startup company like Gojek or Traveloka. That's not actually a startup company. That's an established company, right?
Established and
It's
corporate.
already.
Yeah.
but they have the
Yeah.
culture of...
How many people want to work at Gojek like 5 years ago? Probably same like us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we just in the same stage as like Gojek 5 years ago. Maybe.
True.
So their expectation is that startup companies like that. So maybe that's a question to ask when they're applying. Right?
We ask that all the
What
time.
is-
Yeah.
what
What is
is
a
the
startup and what makes a startup? I agree with Bayu a lot on this one. I think a lot of people, they prefer startup and they think startup means I don't wear a suit, right? I show up, I have
Free and
free
fun.
I have free lunch,
fun.
and I can hang out, and there's a colorful office, and everyone's nice, and there's no boss, and I just play ping pong all day, right? So I think their expectation is that it is not a, it's sort of like a place without rules, and I get to be free. But what it is actually a little bit different. It's a place without rules, so that you are trusted to manage yourself, rather than, and then they come back and they say, I don't have any management, and nobody tells me what to do, and then I go, well. This problem we're trying to correct by hiring people at university level who, let's say, have at least like standardized time management. They've worked on projects before. Okay, all right. So this one I think we've talked to death. Yeah, let's keep on going and go to the next topic here. There's something about innovation. I'm not sure who wrote this, But anybody know what this is about? Innovative behavior, solution focused, solution driven, extend the horizons of each chapter through innovation, innovative behaviors, experiment. Oh, this is probably me, right? Innovative company. What are we doing only just tracking like revenue for and all that, right? And so what I've said is essentially this. I think one of the innovation cannot be innovation just for innovation's sake, right? We're not tinkerers here. We're not creating mousetraps so that we, sort of exercise our minds. We're creating innovations to drive results, and the key result we want to see is growth. And we've all agreed that revenue is probably the easiest way to see that growth. And we can actually even see, I think, just looking at this year's revenue in 2019, we can see that with fewer properties, we're actually growing, which is kind of counterintuitive, right? Because before we thought growth meant we have more property count and we have more people. But before, what we had is we had high property count, high friction, and we needed even more people to service that, and we got less money for it. So I think innovative behavior should be solution focused rather than just innovation for innovation's sake. Right?
To fix like existing to be better,
Right.
or like the new one have to be better than the last one.
Exactly. And so what that means is innovation cannot be measured by activity. It has to be measured by how many solutions are being laid down. And then what we're looking to actually do right now is to create the engine of innovation. And so when you're building an engine, you're not racing. So it doesn't look like anything is happening. You're in the garage every day tinkering. So what do we need to have innovation? We need to have innovative behavior. We need to be able to put down experimental templates. We need to have a fail fast culture, and we have to have a bias to action culture. And so a lot of what we're doing is just saying, hey, look, it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. Please pick up the gun and fail, right? Pick up the thing and fail, rather than just sit there and vegetate. So these are things that we are developing right now so that we can get bottom-up innovation. Now, there's a debate right now, I think, about whether it's better to have top-down or bottom-up innovation. Let's go over the terms. Tendi, what do you think bottom-up innovation means?
There is, I think,
Right.
Bottom up.
Yeah.
I think it's providing solution for problem first
Yes. Or, yes, kind of. Okay.
instead of vision first. So top bottom would be like I want to be innovative like this, like flying to the moon in a new way, like SpaceX.
Uh-huh.
But instead we are solving problem that we face daily, and then make an innovation out of it.
Okay. Very close. Okay. Wyatt, what do you think? What is the difference between top-down and bottom-up innovation?
Bottom up, I think fixing things internally, like what we have,
Uh-huh.
to be like efficient. Top bottom is like we have big idea,
Mm-hmm.
and then from that idea, like we find a solution down.
Okay, great. I'll give you two examples of bottom up versus top down. Top down innovation is very much like IBM, right? IBM and Hewlett Packard are top to bottom. So the majority of the company is actually very rigorous and working on processes. The innovating is coming from the top. They look at feedback signals in the marketplace, they try to figure out where things are going, and then they start an innovation cycle, and everyone else just follows essentially the plan. These big companies are essentially impossible to make bottom up at this point because there's just so many people working on processes. You got tens of thousands of people
What
working on
about if
processes.
some change in the middle?
So it's hard to get changes in the middle because middle people just communicate information between top and bottom people, right? So if you look at like Gojek, Nadeem has a discussion with all his co-founders, and one of Gojek's core principles is that they should have bottom-up innovation, not top-down innovation. So bottom-up is very much like what Bayu and Wayan have said. So essentially, people will find the problems, and then people will own the problems themselves, and then they will start creating the innovations for that. Like let's say D1. I was really happy to hear D1 wanted to take more action in the community at Uluwatu. So he's going out and he's talking to restaurant owners. He's building that community himself, and it's in order to start his project of the problem that he's trying to solve, which is how to build a better community in Uluwatu, right? Top down would be we need a better community thing in Uluwatu. Then we say D1, you should go and do that. Somebody else told me to do this, and then it doesn't work after a while, right? Because it gets stuck. But then if we have bottom up, the feedback cycle is shorter. The personal owning the problem is the key. Don't fall in love with the solution. Fall in love with the problem. If people fall in love with the problem, then you can essentially. Then we have the correct culture here, right? Then we have become a company of problem solvers. Okay. All right. Time is up, so I'm going to respect the time. Yeah. And thank you for everyone coming in to discuss these things. We talked about vision of the company. We talked about innovation. We talked about employees resigning. All very fruitful and good subjects. If you do have anything, this goes to Tendi, that you would like to say at the next Sync Up, I will announce it 30 minutes before at 2:30 next Friday. If you have anything that you'd like to have discussed, please put it on this board. Tendi, I noticed that you want us to watch a video, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, everyone, please watch Tendi's video so that we'll have some comments on it next time. I'll put a mark so that we'll begin here. Okay? All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Okay.
Okay.